How about one last time? I think we can figure it out now. The 10th rant video in a row. Maybe we can unlock a documentary level presentation. The Infinite War. No, fuck off, man. I hate it. I can actually use double letters. You can still use forward. Or fast forward. Or even fast backwards. Aww. I want fast backwards. Because they were being revealed. Oh. There are two spies. Spy. Sleuth or spy. Okay, now we know. It does give you all the possible ways to enter the code. Rewind. It actually is rewind, huh? Oh, congratulations. We're gonna talk about the Infinite War. And obviously, I keep stacking more and more knowledge on this one plate, and it doesn't break. We have a little bit of capitalism going on, and eventually capitalism gets shut down by the government. But even above that, there's another layer of some kind. The socialism layer. The ability for you to influence, or maybe it is the shadow market. You see, I have many interlocking problems. Worth navigating all at once. So let's begin. I have put myself some notes. It's very useful, and I'll try to throw the notes over here, but in a way that comes as a story. See, now that is a good deal. You have some kind of roadmap, some kind of speech prepared, and whenever you are closing in on a point, you catch it and put it here. It's going to be very useful to make sure that this speech is successful, that this is documentary level achievement. Because essentially, what is a documentary? Do you know what defines a documentary? So, personally, because I've searched for documentaries, now I'm concerned that I still don't know the definition, and I can't find what I'm looking for anymore. That YouTube can actually just shut down most of the documentaries because they're, not the right political side or conspiratorial, almost a form of harassment, because that's what conspiracy theories are and why they have been bashed instantly. Well, it's a form of harassment now, so get the fuck out of here. You harassing science. I'm trying to defeat science. One up science, understand what it is as a definition, as well as now documentary of why can I just sit back and educate myself. Just jump down to the lowest level. I would be lowest level educator for most people, and honestly, as you can tell, I can't really use anything but education potentially will have to deal with that too. Because I have covered schools a little bit, because I wanted to introduce kind of myself and my struggles of not following the school, but most importantly, like, the struggle of what I felt. We're gonna read everything. Before I even encompass my notes, we have to go back all the way and mark our progress in here. Just so this finally exists as a thing. We'll round them up. We're gonna start almost there. The first thing that started all, I think. No, that can't be true. Is it? No, it's the 10th of September. But then I treated it... But then I did the... What? Another 10th of September? Yeah, okay. But then I just woke up the other day, because, like, sure, I took a huge break, basically. I guess that's what kind of made me ready. But no. So I made, like, 1.5 videos or something. I don't even care, honestly. Honestly, I don't care. It's a tough situation here. I try to do it on 9. Okay, let's prepare ourselves. What happened to my 50 euros? I definitely I'm not good with potatoes, okay? I am always going to be scared of something extremely cheap and something extremely dirty, you know, that requires work. There are workers out there, right? If there aren't workers, then please cry for more workers. Do something. You can do that, right? People can do some basic fucking shit, man. I don't want to be disappointed in society. And it's like, I have to do it. I have to be a worker now. You know, all of a sudden the worker has way higher self-esteem than its fucking enslavement system. Fuck off, man. That's not gonna happen. I would rather die than work for something that doesn't have power of influence. Just pure power. I have to use something. Now, I've already used... This is like 10 days now. 50 euros goes down to 30 euro. And I obviously have extra if I'm super desperate. But it's frustrating, right? And I can always just jump into RuneScape and start grinding. That helps. I know how to do it. I'll start doing it once it becomes a routine in my life, but I'm always scared to add routines in my life. I'm always scared to do anything, because that means I'm using time already. You know, I'm more awake. Actually, being awake is bad for you. Who would have thought, right? So, main deal was overpopulated. That's fucking fascinating, though. This was my first main theme, and I don't like it. Thought I nailed down everything. Yeah, the very, very beginning, the very vintage part of this roadmap. Technically, I marked this as the very beginning, and technically it is. It's the September 10th actual video. And I only ranked as C, and I never went down as C anymore. I pushed through the heartbreak, and all kinds of other feelings, because I see it is kind of weird. But I started, breaking down the map, and it took a long time. to do it, I believe. There's a lot to talk about, after all, when you open a map. So let's find out what kind of road I went through then. Should be fairly simple. I don't know, man. Of bad people. Not the worst. They're just bad. Like, a lot of people are bad. I just don't... I'm incapable of actually observing these bad people right now. And that's very cool, right? Everyone is separated. I can't observe them anymore. I can't judge them anymore. They haven't judged me, so they expect me not to judge them, huh? Well, I need a judgment. See, I want to like add a little bit of a backstory of just like, oh, an old woman fell down after asking money, and now she's calling me to court. Well, that's interesting. I did push her, but I didn't push her to fall down. I pushed her out the door. She just tripped and fell. And it's like that's the whole story. But the court is a mysterious little thing that will fucking immediately attack you. Like, what's gonna happen? Do I go to jail if I don't pay? Was there a phone call asking me to pay? There's always this mafia ring around the justice system, you know? And who knows how fucking deep that rabbit hole goes of people trying to exploit you just because, you know, now you're guilty. What the fuck is that? I mean, we found a victim of an injury. Not of me. You know, a victim of an injury is not nobody, okay? She just doesn't have to go all the way to 5th floor to meet me and, you know, the rest of my family. That doesn't have... happens not to be anything but my mom right now. That's all I have. And technically, right, why are people so... well, they're insane. They're insane. We're going to discuss the insanity of the infinite war that people have started. The play of double jokers as well. Yeah, cool. Outplayed me. So badass. Just the moment I became talented, all of a sudden the game is on, boys. The game is on. I was so frustrated. I had to go to university. I signed up for it. But the whole process was just disgusting. I couldn't even find the place easily. You know, it's just... I get lost in a town, in a new town, I'm in a new place. I need a guide. I need guidance in general. I need people to be friendly. But none of that is happening. People are not friendly, and we can't judge each other anymore. And even that is getting to an extreme level where I have to actually be angry about it. It's an extreme level of, like, if you try to judge someone, you get banned. And I already said, banning people is the worst habit you can adopt. It's so frustrating. But we are not even there yet. We are not talking about the pickup stuff. Pick up your stuff. Imagine that, right? When you say pick up, that means you left someone. You left someone. And that is disgusting. Yes, you should pick up. You're a bad person now. You should pick up. Go to pickup artistry. If you left people hanging alone when you admire them, you don't say that you admire them. You know. But I'm not dealing with real life. I'm dealing with the world where if I say that I admire someone, they will ban me. Because that's harassment, okay? Because I didn't say it properly. I said it from my heart. And my heart is full of anger. Well, what's gonna happen? They're just gonna get angry at me too. Because they're gonna get in tune. And I'm kind of getting frustrated of that. That's not exactly what you're supposed to feel. That means that I have way more influence than I ever thought I had. Being able to actually influence you to hate when you don't have the personality to do that, that means I could just destroy you, basically. That is not cool. That part of the story is really not cool. And I have to mark it down. When I try to pick up, I feel like I am destroying something. I'm first of all destroying someone's self-esteem. They can't just say anything useful to me. They can't do the judgment part. They were never educated to how to judge people. They think it's a good idea not to. And not to be friendly with everyone, because otherwise you're not friendly. So everything just falls apart all of a sudden from my perspective. Why do I live a completely different life than everyone else? Because everyone else is fucking evil. Okay? And it's even more evil than you fucking think. The moment we add overpopulation, evil gets really tough to crack. Evil is everywhere. It's spread out everywhere. And only the moment you start cracking, you can start waking people up and making evil more and more apparent each step of the way. You have to play now the game of unlocking broken hearts, basically. It's time to play the game of see, I can just say it in 2 emojis. What the name of the game is, boys. And then the evil will be apparent and will destroy itself. But however, overpopulation created a huge challenge for us. And I see it. Nobody said it to me. I've done my work. I can fucking chill. Probably forever. But you can't. You gotta be sitting on a very hot chair right now and understanding that everything you do matters past this point. I can chill because like I'm so far ahead of everyone else. I can crash them, basically. I can just build a wall and just crash them and eat the remains. And I kind of want to do that right now, okay? So be ready. I will put road bumps just to get myself, you know, secure. No longer ahead. I don't need to be ahead. I want to be secure. This is why rant session ends eventually. But this is what gets me ahead in the first place. This is kind of what I'm playing right now. Because my own heart is broken. You know, but do I need to unlock it? No, I'm just capable of sensing locked hearts anyways. I suppose. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Pin, pin, pin. Jump. Alright. So, this has lasted 45 years. I would say 40 years. I don't know. Necessarily. I just think YouTube was never really taking off until 2010. YouTube was never really outcompeting television until 2010. Now that it's relevant, it's probably going to be relevant for 5 more years. Okay? 2010 is like when I jumped into AdventureCraft as well. When Rebecca Black showed up, when Rewind showed up, all these things started building up huge self-esteem, I would say. the start of YouTube age. This is, for me, the high self-esteem ranked platform that humanity ever created. So I bow down and call the age of YouTube. Main reason to torture someone is because they don't care. It's mostly, I can say, not torture necessarily. I just said an extreme form of torture. Judge. But it feels like torture. But it's just judgment. What's wrong? What's wrong? My mom just couldn't take it. I give a little bit of a judgment daily. And all of a sudden, oh no, it's turning into an infinite nightmare. Yes. It better will turn out that way. And now, the moment she has money, I'll do it even more viciously because she'll have to leave the money behind too. And I'll just live a normal life all of a sudden. I'll literally just punch her out of the game. And guess what? That's all I'm capable of doing. Because I never met and established friendship, I can't punch them out. And so it's just me and my mom, man, who doesn't know how to use money yet, but knows how to not break my heart, you know, and just leave me on the streets. Because then I'll start attacking people, regardless. I go to jail. You know, that's a normal place to be now, I would say. It's a totally normal place to be. Obviously, the process of going to jail is kind of fucking weird. You don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, it's not like I want to. That would just kind of destroy everything that I have. I'm just saying that the first thing I would do is, like, it's my mom's fault. I wouldn't just attack people, I would attack my mom, if possible. I would just sit down and wait and creep. And I would wait on the lowest level eventually. Each day just go down a level and wait and attack more and more people, basically. Because my mom not showing up. She's not going to grocery store. I literally turn into a zombie, basically. And honestly, this is the name that I wanted to talk about. Zombie apocalypse. But that's just me. But it's just one zombie. Okay? Just one. So literally, I'm so disappointed. I would just wait and slowly attack more and more people. If I get kicked out. Okay. If my mom decides, oh, it's still not over after so many months. No, I just weaponized myself and I'm preparing for this war. If you want war, it's so fucking ridiculous. Why she can't fucking listen? You know? Why she can't fucking submit? That she's a weaker and dumber person that made me. And I'm now her enemy, even though she made me. That's like super AI simulation bullshit, you know? Science is afraid of simulation because it can bite back all of a sudden. Wow. So, you know, this is where it all starts, you know, the Binding of Isaac starts with fighting against your mom. And it's a long fucking fight too, because now you have to fight to kind of secure your reality and destroy the reality that has created you and ignore it. It's like, I didn't have parents. Are you fucking kidding me? Who defines themselves as a parent and doesn't listen to the fucking child anymore? Okay? I just want you to go out there and create another family. Then I'll start listening to you, because now you relate to me. I'm not trying to relate to you. I'm sorry. Okay? Well, that's fucking ridiculous. Ridiculous things are happening right now. Ridiculous requests are happening. The world is changing. And doing the same thing will kill you. Doing the same thing as the generation above will kill you, because the trap is set, okay? At first, people get the cheese, but the second thing happens, now we know how to get them and trap them. So a bunch of children has been made to be trapped and killed and sacrificed for the gods of whatever fucking gods you have. Money, magical relationships, family. Oh, nuclear family. Let's add that word. Children are being sacrificed. So I'll just reverse the message. And now you wouldn't understand what does that mean? My parents were good to me. They were not good to you. They were just rich. Okay. My mom is good to me because she's poor. This is all manipulation. It's so fucking ridiculous too, because obviously it's automated manipulation. It's not that she came up with the idea, you know. Somebody came up with this idea, and I have to track them down, hunt them down, fucking put them on the ground and say, this is what happens. This is what happens when you find zombie apocalypse, okay? And only one zombie shows up. That zombie is gonna fucking put you down. Because I'm not a fucking zombie in the first place. I just grow my heart because I changed. My personality was never meant to change. Now I am ready for this war. I don't know who it is. I really don't. Who made it so far into the league to change our minds that we are just losers, just to make babies, and eventually trap ourselves in our own problems, in our own shit, basically. Someone figured it out. Someone figured out that taking a shit and ending up with a baby, it's still gonna end you with the shit. Okay? Someone figured out that shitting out a baby leaves a big shit in the end. A big shit is left. Okay? And now, eventually the shit figures out, oh, I stink. I'm fearful of everything. The reality is still bullshit now. Just like whatever the history has told us history was. History is full of shit now. You know, nothing good ever happened. We're only talking about the war, the Civil War, the Dick War. Oh my god. The World War, the Hitler War. The Hitler War. All kinds of fucking wars we're talking about and setting up history that way. I'm saying the YouTube age. What kind of war am I supposed to fucking talk about instead? The Infinity War? Is that a good fucking name? Because it sounds very familiar too. Fucking bullshit. I can't say an original thought anymore. If I just type in Infinity War, we're gonna get Avengers Infinity War. Avengers Infinity War. Oh wow. What is the first thing we're gonna see? Because I like imagery. Well, the Infinity War is kind of where it should have ended, right? Like, Thanos snaps. Get the fuck out of here now. You lose. You lose. I get the gauntlet. Get the fuck out of here. You lose. Rewind time. Okay. I think that's a cool concept, actually. Thanos snap is like splitting history, aka stop time. Imagine that. Imagine one little fucking zombie figuring out how to put everything together, takes a glove, snaps, the time is stopped. One guy is capable of ordering all the girls of the world to stop time. But not to stop time when it's over, because it's just one guy doing it. No. Stop time. Let's start a war. We're splitting history. Some people want to still go forward. Some people want to stop. So, you disappear now. You disappear. And this fantasy that the end game is gonna defeat Thanos, they used science to go back in time. They used science. Thanos used crystals to empower his final fist of doom, basically. It's a fist of doom. He still wields it. Doesn't need gems. He snapped the gems apart as well. But why he couldn't defeat Thor at the same time? Because Thor came back and found a peaceful Thanos. And actually, Thanos, the moment he gets his dream, he acts very respectfully. You know. And now you're just taking away a dream from someone and going into this endgame war. But eventually, the war is raging on all of a sudden. The war. You got the war instead. You could have just disappeared and it would have been peaceful. But instead you got the war. See, the moment I think Thanos fucking figured out, essentially, understands that we're not separated. We're too scared. And the moment half of the people disappear, we're not gonna be scared anymore. We're gonna be very mindful of the people who have disappeared and who have left. Almost like the right and left, you know, one of the sides disappear, all of a sudden, oh, maybe that side disappears. So you're gonna look around and like, what do you have left? All of a sudden you're interested because you have so much. You have so much in your life. Everything is so separated from you. So you don't really care until someone dies, okay? You don't care until someone fucking dies. And this thought of coronavirus and the fact that we can't stop thinking about it. There's something wrong with us, dude, and we can't fight back against the government. Should be fucking easy, dude. You asking me to wear a mask? Let's fucking beat up every single guard, every single policeman that wants to shut us down for a fucking mask. Let's beat them up. Let's create a much bigger problem. And the problem that we have will disappear. Obviously, we'll have a much bigger problem, and it will have to resolve at some point. And you know, now we're fighting police. Now we're destabilizing an entire fucking country of some kind. But a politician should immediately realize this is not something I can control. We have to give up to the people to decide. And that's the victory that I want to happen. But right now, we had a chance. We had our chance, okay? I don't think we can have a chance like this again. Okay? You had your chance, now we're gonna stop time. Because I have better solutions. You have your chance to fight back. Now I'll simply stop time. I did not have luxury to wear a mask, okay? I did not have this luxury. Every cent in my life matters right now. So please, don't make me homeless before my mom comes back, okay? Let's just play our roles, our little fucking roles, the way we're supposed to. You're ignorant pieces of shit, and I'm a very, very, very angry person that could be called a zombie, but I'm just, you know, I'll stop time, and I'll give you a zombie, basically. A bite, you know? You call me a zombie, I'll bite, but I'll stop time first, obviously, and I'll find all the enemies that want to get bitten. Because I want to stop time once. I don't want to fucking do it too many times. Otherwise, it seems like I'm a fucking loser or something. I can't hunt down people just by the way they look. Of course I can. I'm ready for anything now. I'm ready for this. The Infinity War. But I call it the Infinite War. Maybe that's a little bit cooler. Because of how many people we have now. And how they never really stopped. It was one of my biggest concerns that the war is over. But we still live as if we're fighting some kind of war. That's what makes it so infinite. The war is over, but we are still fighting something. What is it that we're fighting? We're fighting our stupidity, basically. We're just dum-dums who follow the sense of history. The history literally ended, but we're repeating it because we're so bored. We have nothing left. We have nothing left, and we don't understand that we have nothing left until we start researching, when things start disappearing and slipping out of our hands. Okay? Probably I do have to stop time multiple times just so people realize, oh, you bite one of the persons that I like. How do I live without them? Or if you try and fight back, you get bitten. I'm sorry, you don't follow the rules. You know what happens. Okay? You become crazy most of the time. You don't have to say it out loud that you don't like me, okay? That's a form of harassment and I will ban you. Oh wait, I don't have a word ban in my dictionary. I only have a word bite. It's automatic replacement. But I do have bite. Bite, curse you, and let you slowly descend into madness that I have suffered all this time. Congratulations. We're just beginning. I just talked about my mom. I just pick up 3 points and we're already 40 minutes into madness. I couldn't even read anything. You can see how this is actually greater than 3 hours of work that I did each time. This is the infinity of the war. Because I can't even make it this far. It's incredible. Because I'm talking about ideas that are growing in me. They're constantly growing, but they don't find resources to grow. So technically I'm just a very, very hungry person right now. Very, very hungry. I'm not happy at all. Okay, if I go out and do my job and I'm fighting for my life, that's cool. That's a direction in life. Trying to survive. But if you're constantly perpetuating trying to survive mode, you're not living life. Life is so much more than survival. And that's when you wake up to this reality, you get so fucking pissed off. So pissed off. It's like, why am I trying? What's the fucking big deal? Why should people try to survive anymore? Why can't they just unite and fight back? Fully fight back. Just fully fight back. Spread out. Because that's the only way to fight back. Stand alone. But also be united. That's the only unity you can really function in. If you attack through a spread. You can't just go and see a bunch of police lined up. A bunch of military lined up and you're gonna attack them? No. They declare that you're a loser. Okay? And they successfully do that by having more weaponized approach. But they have to cuddle up. Police has to cuddle up to be able to function. That's what makes police weak. I'm not declaring war. I was already at war. I was just stepping out of this survival mode. I take one step and I immediately need to look, what is the weakness of the police? This is crazy. They have weaponized everything, but they haven't weaponized everything entirely. They're not perfect. We need to know the weakness if we want to survive. Okay? That's the first step out of survival. And you already have an enemy. The state is your enemy, obviously. These people have power. They will constantly fight to get influence. They will fight whatever it takes to get a little bit of influence. People in power will do whatever it takes to get influence. Okay? Are you ready to defend that? As the greatest value, as the key to enter shadow market ever in the first place. If you don't reach tier 4, you are locked out, you did something wrong, and I'm fighting back against this to the maximum that I can. But I can't fight that much, and I'm glad, okay, because it is a very challenging fight. I should almost be glad. That's how maddening it is. It's like, well, I don't have many tools or power or anything to fight. And I would use it for a fight. So technically, you know, I'm kind of everyone's enemy already. But you made me my enemy. So, like, made yourself my enemy. By keeping up and not, like, let's just keep going, man. Friendship is magic. Anxiety are a bunch of uncontrollable feelings that you take medicine for, as if there's a solution to everything out there for you to buy into. Of course there is. Explosion is better talent than accumulation. That's kind of early. It's almost like a deja vu moment. I've said this. Or I said the explosion. Like, I think this is where the cringe meets outrage. Okay, this is my explanation. You kind of want to explode in power, then just constantly trying to accumulate more and more and literally stack a tower. You're not trying to stack a tower, you're trying to expand your land. The expectations that people have sometimes put you in a very uncomfortable position. Okay? So we can now understand what it is better. It's cringe versus outrage, boys. We're ready now. It's more like outrageous. Doing something outrageous and doing something cringy. I think it's better. Cringy versus outrageous. Okay. Doctor makes the issue inconceivably large and make you give up, basically. That's true. They lock you up because everyone wants to lock people up right now. But they still lock you up in a way that makes the issue even larger because you kind of sign up for it. You can survive there. You do have to take medicine, though. And the doctors will try their best to get you addicted, basically. It's like, you know, like, they have to get their money back. They spend so much time and effort locking you up. They have to get their money back. And honestly, Lithuania now feels like a mix of, like, people trying to adopt American views, but only to just kind of wash away the history of Russian suppression and such. We're still a land of, like, free thinkers. That's cool. But we're so free, we can't monetize our behavior whatsoever. So, what's the point? What's the point of being a free thinker if you're being treated as such forever? As free. Oh, look. We can ignore him for free. Let's fucking go, boys. We can start a war for free. So you just become a Russian. Go to Russia, you fucking asshole. If you're Russian. If you're trying to fucking beat me up with your stupid capitalism ideas. Europe should be on a very, very special trip, basically. To maybe a vintage trip. Shaking hands with each other. Okay, completely separated from the rest of history right now. It's like a national park. Europe right now should act as a national park and be separated. Just like UK, haha. Yeah, and that kind of idea was thrown around, right? Like, what if other people try to go away from European Union? We don't want to go from European Union, and we want European Union to listen to us. You know, UK can play the joke card of like, well, I'm already separate from the rest of the Europe. Am I right, guys? But that's what we actually want, okay? And UK, because they have the voice of English, they can do it faster, they can say these things faster, but we might not understand it as well. So, maybe I just came to UK and it started happening. Maybe I literally had an incredible amount of influence. Somehow. Who knows, man? Because now I felt like I played into something. I traveled to UK and now it started happening. Like, oh, you're separating? What's happening here? I didn't do much. It's not like I was discovered there either. But I, you know, did my videos and such. I pissed some people off. Perhaps. What else do we have? And again, shadow market kind of teaches me that this might have been happening and I didn't even know it. Because the moment something weird happened, I'm like, people knew a bit more than... But I still don't know what it was. Like, what is this? And by the way, I lost like 50 pounds. Just try to take it out of my bank account and I'm like, did I pick it up or didn't I? And it's gone. It's like, what? but it's gone from my bank, and I'm like, fuck. Now there's someone just picked up 50 fucking pounds from my bank account, from a poor person. Just because of this. I was so absent-minded. I was so dead inside. And then the last hit in the face happened, basically. I couldn't even control myself anymore. This could have helped. But again, there's so many times now I'm losing money. So many fucking times. Instead of just, you know, what is this? So many times I have lost money. There are so many traps out there. It actually blows my mind, you know. I'm supposed to be a smart person, and I have to admit that I wasn't a smart person at some points in my life. But only because I was so torn apart by everything. None of this made sense, okay? If something doesn't make sense, that means it's completely new. It's completely next level, dude. All of a sudden, it's the next level being introduced to me. And I got punched my money out of me. Even though it's very valuable to me. But it does change my perception, right? Depending on how much I have. And I really understand, like, despite money not being an actual factor of what's supposed to rule your life, money changes perspective so much. It must be a conversation starter, at least. That's a good conversation starter. That's a good way to make people uncomfortable. Just ask for money, you know, randomly. Hey, give me money. Now I would be that evil person. Just like, you know, I asked Taylor to be a porn star, I might as well become an ask for money criminal type of deal. He's asking for money. Me, of all people, yeah. You know, I've learned this. That's the only thing I've learned, honestly. That's the only thing I've learned when returned home. A bunch of people come here and ask for money. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I tolerated everything to a certain degree, obviously. And then I shut it down. And shut it down as hard as I can. To the point where now I'm deemed a criminal by someone who fell down. And it's just so fucking pathetic. And I have lost 1,500 basically. Lost. And I still remember toying with it the day it was probably stolen. Toying with it. As if I needed to protect it before going to the shop. And I did. And I'm still like, did I put it somewhere, or was it actually stolen? Was I too insecure again? Did I do something stupid? Or it's actually really, really gone now. So I have to clean up my room like to an extreme degree, because now I'm like, wow. I still doubt this. And it's a very expensive doubt to have. I doubt that I know anything at all anymore. Like, fuck. But the person never showed up, so I can't really ask him of what happened. I should be able to read a lie, if anything. But not always it's that easy. You know, sometimes people are just so courageous. They don't care whether they're lying or not. See, that's when things get very awkward. You can't read it anymore. Because you have to read a completely different problem facing you. It's like, you don't trust me anymore? Let's go fight, man. For fuck's sake. It's a lot of money. That could save my life for eternity, basically. Literally just that. It's pretty crazy. How it just evaporates. Yeah, now I just feel sad. And it's already a good indication. Can I even read things? Or did I just stab myself in the back? Because you can feel how my perspective got changed just when money got involved. You can feel this is so unhealthy. Okay? Why are people forced to think about money? That's it. It's a game over move. You know, the moment you can force them to think about something useless, something that everyone needs, and you should be able to share it. Unless we are in a Hunger Games scenario, then we can play that game too. If you don't know how to fucking share. I don't know, man. Buy patience. For fuck's sake. If you want to ban someone, why don't you just buy patience? Just buy patience. I know rewarding people for bad behavior is not exactly doesn't feel like an out. But yes, reward people for bad behavior. Then you will realize how connected you are to those people. That there is no escape. Because the bad behavior is going to escalate, okay, until it gets rewarded. This is very simple. What I'm doing technically is bad behavior because I'm slowly boiling the anger. Preparing, weaponizing, learning everything that there is about your weaknesses, and about the things that you're going to do to me to try and defend yourself. And everything that I can possibly get, I'll use it against you. It's inevitable now. Unless you reward me for my bad behavior. Unless you track me down now. It's not that easy anymore. Tracking me down. I'm not a person who's not paying rent anymore. You know, it's all good now. It's all fine. YouTube is free. Just say a little bit more than that. After all, it's the age of something. And it has to be free. But essentially, you know, as free as it is, it constantly challenges you to switch your perspective of what you want to do with the YouTube. I want to be a YouTuber. Well, that's not possible anymore. But you can be something else for YouTube. You can supplement it just as much as being a YouTuber, okay? Just help them out. Watch them carefully. Care for them. Be a good viewer. Be better than everyone else. And all of a sudden, whenever YouTube implements some kind of feature that embraces viewers, you know, be a good viewer. This is important. This is first ever checkpoint, boys. We reached it. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back because we're going all the way. Okay. Yeah, this feels like a joke. My project feels like a joke. There's still people out here, you know, showed up for AdventureCraft. I don't know, man. I wanted to do it. I did it. I tapped into it. It's just a game. There are games out there, guys. There are games out there. Why don't I know about it? Why we're not talking about it? It's definitely a fucking joke. I'm laughing at these people now. It's ridiculous. If we're gamers, we have to talk about it. Otherwise, we don't exist. We just don't exist. Our needs don't exist. This is just a random event that you just hopped in to play lottery with me. You're gonna be tortured here. I don't take lottery people very, very lightly, okay? I'll take you through fucking hell. So you better run. I'm just saying. And you better inform everyone else if you're willing to run, you know. You know what you belong to, what kind of group of people. Run. I don't play lottery. You want something, tell me. You're not getting what you want, go away. Just go the fuck away. Because you're not contributing enough, probably. Or you're not worth it. You must understand the shadow market does not take lightly your unwillingness to take things, okay? To take things. To feed my heart and make it, you know, a different kind of perspective. But if you can't do it, that means I'm stronger. And I know what to do. By all means, I know what to do next. You don't. So we have baby war, blah blah blah. People without purpose, that just repeat history, and it's even worse than it ever was. Because now, we are repeating it peacefully because we're at war. That's the only way we can survive anymore, if we're all peaceful and nice to each other and we're, there's so much everything going on. What do I do? It's such a panic mode, man. It's ridiculous. People explode after I just poke them. Explode. Splatter all over, man. Disgusting. I will never talk to them again. They're now lost in complete darkness. I don't have to blacklist people. I just have to poke everyone I know. And they explode. That's it. That's all that happens. That's all I need to do. I don't know what to do anymore to actually get attention. Even when I was suicidal, I get a tiny bit of attention, you know? Tiny bit of attention of people who don't know what to do anymore. Who went into this ultimate panic mode. Wow! Let's go to the ultimate panic mode, because we don't know what to do. Well, I win. Because I must be very, very quick to understand what this is. Oh, wait. No, I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours. What, thousands of hours doing this? Yes. Climbing all these mountains without even recognizing what is all about. And now that it's readable, I'm cool, man. I'm slow. I am gonna climb my own fucking mountain now. Can barely read this. People who want attention will lose against me. I don't know what that means. But I know this is another overhang. As if I was capable of tapping into, you know. So, hit for capitalism. It's not working out. I'll stop time for myself. It's just me, maybe. Just me, maybe. Just me, little Thanos boy. I'll eat half of the population, you know, big deal. It's probably just the maximum amount that I can eat anyways. Just as hungry as I can get. Hearthstone feed me anxiety. I know what else will feed me. Okay. I can now just do this. Feed me. I'm training myself as quickly as I can to get to this next level of insanity. Basically, you can't make this up. YouTube stands for your tube, not you. What is this R thing, by the way? Missing. And it stands for your talent. Let's not forget that, obviously. But T stands for a lot of things now. So, honestly, don't treat it as a talent. Don't even do it. It's just a reminder that, yeah, the first thing you should grab is the talent. You should possess a talent and you jump into YouTube and you're celebrating your talent. And sometimes people are going to celebrate it so hard, you're going to be forced to be a creator. But that's just enforcement. That's just us being insecure about something that we created. YouTube is not necessarily an establishment of any kind. Nothing that actually works. It will take probably 5 more years for it to start working and immediately disappear at the same time, because normally we can't really make something work. We can only focus on the good parts, right? We can only rip apart features and add a few, sprinkle in a few more if we find them and it doesn't break us. But as you can tell, like, social media is trying to be as clean as possible every time, trying not to introduce new features at all. And that's it includes Hearthstone too. It's like, well, instead of fixing the fucking game that would change everything, basically, we're just gonna print different cards. So cute. Okay, so cute. The canvas of printing different cards is so big. Oh wow, basically. But we need different features in Hearthstone. We need to kind of turn Tavern Brawl into an actual map of what kind of features people like. A map. And it's not science, okay? It's almost like an election day. Something that I did yesterday. I sat down and I'm like, okay, Hillary actually got the popular vote. It's just so cringy, actually, that Donald Trump wins. But at least he won. I wouldn't like Hillary to win at the same time. So it's just so weird. But if we knew that the popular vote mattered, we would go and fight for exactly that, I would think. And Trump would still win if we needed to convince the popularity. At least to stop voting, because that's the only thing that, Democrats are hoping for. That the people that they convince to vote, they will vote Democrat. Because they are reliant on celebrities, they're reliant on this stupid Hollywood thing. I think almost like there's like the right side of history and then the left side of lost story. Because we're talking about high story, something that will say hi to you if you pay attention. Hey, this is what's happening right now. Oh, yeah, you kind of have to know about that. What is happening right now? You have to answer this question. It is important to you. I swear. Ridiculous, isn't it? But some people think that, well, they get to think, actually. Because the lost story also matters. Alright? Why is this lost story so twisted into focusing on minorities, inclusion, and just small, tiny, teeny problems that you're holding on to, but they're exaggerated so much. Maybe because we don't appreciate the lost story and we actually feel bad about it. And we're fed the news over and over again, so we can't really escape that history that we live right now. And yeah, I know some people say history is like his story. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Put it together so well. I'll give it a star. Shut the fuck up. Alright. This takes so long. I couldn't even look at my notes. It's just a supplement, or more like if I miss something, or if I feel it's important. But I know deep down in my heart what to do. Obviously, I should. That's also one of those things that I had to do. I guess I now just have to let Nikki Limo educate me. Women educate me. Fuck me, dude. She's the only podcast runner that I can still respect in a way, which I don't respect, okay? She's low tier. I'm the only one that I know that I can respect, so I literally have to do my own podcast because I do it better than everyone else. It's so frustrating, okay? So you're saying Nikki Limo is my best competition right now? I know H3 messed up his podcast the moment he ran out of people to invite. That's over. And coronavirus makes it even harder. But Nikki Limo never needed to invite people. So I'm like, wow, that's pretty good. Now I'll just have to run her podcast whenever I feel down. Whenever I feel like, I'm just gonna do the election nights tonight. That was stupid. Okay, that was stupid. I think Nikki Limo can say more cooler things than both of the president's candidates for a president that were running for 2016 combined, okay? Because Trump is just still talking about, oh, I won the election, you know? That sort of way, I think. Because when you lose the popular vote, this thing just kind of falls apart all of a sudden. Obviously, he lost by a small margin, and who knows anything anymore. If people focused on the popularity vote to really be the key point, because this is what allowed Hillary to actually focus on victory and not think of herself as a loser. But that's what happened. You know, the next level strategy was turned on, I think, and people knew what was going on in the background. They were predicting exactly how it was going to play out. Hillary's going to be tricked into losing. Even though California is filled up with self-esteem of like, you get 55 college electoral votes or whatever. Wow. And they're so happy and they're stuck in there. They can't spread out their wings and fucking influence people anymore. They're just stuck in their stupid California. Just game over, buddy. 55's never gonna be good enough. Never. Okay? Your stupid state is gonna go to hell. And is always constantly going to hell. You know, California is inviting, hey, hell, how many fires can you put into our country? How many can you handle? Oh, so you're gonna give us max fire? Yeah, let's go. Fuck yeah, dude. I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm not gonna praise Nikki Limo for being a combination of two presidents working in one and spreading way more important knowledge. But because I'm now a competition to her technically, and she's older too. So like, I really want to beat this competition at least. Just one person that I can beat. No, not even that. Yeah, I'll have to start haunting her in the comments. I already started haunting her Instagram page. Maybe she already... No, she didn't ban me because an Instagram post inspired me to say this. Okay, whatever. Let's keep going. How much time? Faster, faster! You won't be able to make a video until you responded to everyone. That's a interesting point. Have to revisit it. What would happen? You receive a bunch of comments and they lock your video up. You can't make a new one anymore. People can physically lock you from making another video by, every single time. You have to sign up. Sign it. You have to sign it. But obviously you have to respond again to two-liners. So I'll do a different kind of token that I read it and I fixed the point. Is there something like this? Maybe a target looks cool. I like bowling actually. Poof, strike. I made a strike. Let's go. About to... Come on, motherfucker. Ling. VL. How much? How much, motherfucker? VLE. VLE. W. Let's go, boys. It's almost like a win, basically. Alright, customer's always wrong. But yeah, just remember that this is all about making people more humble towards haters. We must manage haters a little bit better than we're doing right now. We must appreciate them so they have a little bit of hope sprinkled on top of their hate. They know they will be responded to, so they will act completely differently. And this is a point you have to know. Haters will act differently if they are being responded to. Okay, you can actually... If a hater bumps into you, he's spending time for you. You can take money away from him by ignoring them. But please don't. Because you're gonna get smashed by me, YouTube CEO. You gotta be smashed. Your channel will be deleted if you're not competing against other people who are doing a better job at treating haters fairly. Letting them be responded to. You read them. Their comments. And that's cool. That means you fully have acknowledged all the resources that come to you and you use them, not just monetize them. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, you've just monetized people's effort. Stop monetizing haters because you're accepting a YouTube ban. Okay, congratulations, your channel is banned now. You're gonna have to respond to every hater ever. And forever, basically. And if I find, basically, you say, oh, please confirm that I responded to every hater ever in my video. Can I have my channel back? Okay, let me check. I'll sit down and I'll read. I don't care. I'll employ more people to read. It's fun. Look, it's gonna be so easy, dude. So easy. When you're on the true side of history, it's pretty easy to move forward. Okay, maybe the lost stories, like, you have to backtrack. The high stories, you have to keep up faster than everyone and outcompete people. This is how it should feel, where while right and left are so in battle with each other. Someone like Stefan Molyneux, definitely on the right, and he has pioneered the level of patience you have to do to just put in a 2-hour video on YouTube and just be like, yeah, that's my work. It's just raw material. You know, like, that's fine. What's wrong with it? Well, what's wrong with it is that you keep slapping your face in there and people get tired. You know, people can't really protect you from the bad feelings that authority's gonna have about you. It's very, very tough, guys. It is really that tough. You slap your face too many times, and all of a sudden it turns into a disaster. Everyone knows you now. No, people should know you and respect you for who you are and for the hard work that you do, and you establish your fan base, you have your 1 million of subscribers. Shut the fuck up! But in a different way. You can't shut up if you're making 2-hour videos every time. You can only shut down the recognition level of yourself. And you have to tone it down slowly. Yeah, it's fun, right? But I even saw some insecurities of, like, him talking about himself constantly. His appearance. Maybe it's best not to do that. Maybe I found a better way. Okay. But I never had a chance to actually talk about it with him, and now he's banned, you know, like, guess what? I encourage that now. Fuck you, Stefan. I even know your name now. Unlike other people. But I will say Malin Nukes. Just get nuked, bitch. Yeah. Hold your enemies close and hold your friends even closer. Because you're a very hateful person. That's why. You're taking my service, you're addicted now. Loser. Yeah, there's only one person I'm addicted to right now, I'm sorry. One person at a time. Every year it switches. Because they're not here to stop me, you know. Hey, stop! We're married, you know. Shut the fuck up. We're not married. I'm not getting married ever. Marriage is more like a Guess what marriage is? You're more about marrying a child than your partner. Because you're supposed to protect the child from divorce. So that's why you marry someone, to not separate the relationship. But all of a sudden now marriage is just almost doomed to divorce because you're focused not on a child, but on the relationship. You're free to hop in and hop out of a relationship, but now that you have a child, fuck, you know? Who's gonna take care of it? You can't just leave someone alone to take care of a child. It's tough business, okay? Especially when a man and a woman takes care of a child's different worlds, okay? A woman will take care of the emotional, and a man will take care of the actual needs, the real needs that a person needs to fulfill in reality. And that's what I learned from my parents. So they're probably not as bad as I think, but they are very nuked, okay, bombed into oblivion. And I feel bad for them. And about them at the same time. Because they can't get up anymore. Fucking losers. I'm carrying my last name of my family. That's not cool. I don't feel cool about it at all. I will trash it anytime I get a chance. Grandy sounds like a good name. How about that? Stop meme is the only... Yeah, stop meme. Well, all of a sudden the stop meme is not a meme anymore. It's quite interesting. After 30 minutes of waiting, you can either buy medicine or get served medicine. So this was my frustration. I met a doctor and I'm like, oh, I have to wait 30 minutes and what are you offering exactly? Medicine. So basically buy my product. Fuck you, man. I would throw poop in his face if I had a chance. Poop in his face. Well, I'm sorry I don't have enough money, but I do have this poop on your face that I can leave you with. Maybe you'll change, maybe improve your product, and it's gonna be more free for me, more freeing, more enlightening. Just like Minecraft can be replaced, YouTube can also be replaced, and we have to appreciate the time that we have on our hands left hanging for YouTube to pick up. Hey, you're not doing anything? Tune in, motherfucker. It's pretty cool. If that's what I ended up doing, it must be good, okay? I'm like a desperate person, so everything I end up doing must be like a drug level experience. Okay. I want you to know about it. Okay, this is why I'm even doing this. This allows me quite a bit to just be unexpressive about everything that I'm doing. I'm not taking anything for granted. But I do take my last name for grande. Fuck yeah, dude. What the fuck, government? Actual society is constantly moving around. Can you pin it down for me? Why are you building walls when society constantly slips away from my... Oh well. Eventually I'll pin it down for you, Mr. Government. Thank you very much. But that's what it's like being European. We are not welcome in a part of history, just like we're just like Russia now. We're just like fucking Russians. We're so uninteresting and unimportant. Oh, these are Hitler countries, you know? The countries of the Hitler. And UK. But UK is also like, has been suppressive to America, and just because you learn language, American language, that doesn't excuse you at all, even though they kind of originated the language. But that doesn't make any difference at all. You're all Hitler countries. You're all Germany. Except for Sweden, because Sweden gave us PewDiePie. And Minecraft. And other hacked problems, like how not to care about coronavirus. That sort of stuff. Sweden is keep giving us, you know. So it must not be a Hitler country. But everything else is just, you know, as irrelevant as Russia is. So congratulations, Europe. We fucking nailed it. We did it. We have freed ourselves from Russia's oppression. That's a good job. We're now useless. Because at least Russia was Russia, and now we're just a Hitler country. It's never gonna end. You know, you have to become the best friend for this evil entity that never really died, just spread its wings and now turned into a disaster. No one will really recover from Hitler, just like nobody recovered from Jesus. Jesus controls the universe. What? I don't believe that. I think Jesus is a loser. But he's just like me, you know, a very sophisticated loser. Someone turned into a zombie and it's like, oh, that's good Jesus. It's a very successful Jesus. But then he was killed. He never really lived his full potential life. If you get killed, you are a loser. I don't care if you transcended into the heavens, or you turned water into piss, or whatever. I don't care, dude. We do it all the time, actually. We turn water into piss all the time. Wow, it's not magic. We're just scared of drinking our piss, so we would think it's useless. That's not magic at all. Society is running away from form. Yeah, let's do that. Honestly, like, now the rant turned into a completely next level rant all of a sudden. It's just a little bit slower, as you can see. I will not reach a high rank just doing this. That's not cool. I'm just remixing points. Help me. Help. I love one weird idea. A little bit too much. What if you store energy in the balls? Wow. That means you literally can cripple yourself in case you're suffering a slow life or something. You're not supposed to burn energy. You're not supposed to do anything today, or any day for that matter, because it's just a waste of worrying, basically. It's kind of crazy. Ultra Fap November. Here I come, man. You know, like, fuck. I don't need energy right now. What if the opposite could be done, and I would be super happy about it. The only problem is, like, I want symmetry to work as well. So, like, what about women? What are women supposed to do? Can they release energy the same way? Because if you think about it, there could be energy activators, basically, in the balls. Oh, if you don't use it, they're gonna come back and haunt your body and energize it, basically. Make it move. Ugh. After all, you do have this, I guess, connection with kidneys. Your balls are connected to kidneys or something. That's why it hurts. Kidneys, not the balls, I say. Yeah, it's a weird fucking theory, but we'll see where it goes. I'm just worried about women. Women don't have balls. What can they do in this situation? I don't want energy. What if this is literally like an incredible difference between men and women? And women are just living in low energy life all the time. They don't even know it. Alright, big boys, do we have sound incoming? Actually, we do. Probably need to mute something like this. Right, that was the sound. Something else? What's going on? What is this little thingy? What the fuck? What if I turn off Discord entirely? That's not Discord. Hey, what the fuck? Hello. I'll try and figure this out. What the hell? Oh, it was Hearthstone this whole time. Thank you, bye. I was about to play it. About to. But then I jumped into bracket. Are you serious? We're just gonna wait. I need my Discord back, guys. Found a new server. It's almost like a level up, basically. It's crazy. Guys, it's fucking crazy. Every time people are involved, someone dies. An accidental death. I'm not gonna lie. Probably shouldn't talk about it that way. But right now I'm not educated enough to say that decision is legit. Alright. What rank do we have right now? We have rank E. Joined Brackies. Discord. This guy decided to kind of leave right a week after his game jam has, resolved. And for me, that's a red flag. Okay, if I ever saw one. Even though the Brackies YouTube channel is not on the map, all of a sudden, I am met with a mystery. I can't say no to a mystery. If we go sub-a-dub, first of all, we'll get his video down somewhere. Goodbye. Thanks for everything. That's what an offended person says. And then we have a game jam video. And immediately after, 6 days later, he finishes another, a series of his programming tutorials. There's another one of those. It's easy to do a series, but this is the video that broke his ass. Okay? Not gonna lie. When did he announce the game jam in the first place? Game jam. How to game jam. So there is a video that I want to watch, but again, I can't do it on this PC. I don't have speakers yet. Wah. Anyways, so I joined the server. There's nothing. This is the first day, okay? So I got nothing. But it's every single time is a completely new experience, and it's quite fascinating to me, actually. So I enjoy it. I enjoy the experience, and I enjoy the insights that I get. But most importantly, why would a game jam break someone? I've attended a few game jams myself, and I do recognize that it's quite a dangerous situation. It's almost like a new rant incoming about something I have not talked about yet. Okay. Public affairs. These are very tough to deal with, by the way. There's all kinds of people out there, and they all want kind of different things. They don't know what they want sometimes. It's easy to handle those people because you just wait on them. But the creators are a lot more powerful, right? Those who fucking break through. But even that's not the edgy part. The edgy part is being between, basically graduating in the wrong place. Because graduation means you are going insane. And you will try your best to kind of disguise that feeling, basically. If there is an age out there, it would really help. Bracky's age would be nice to know, but not disclosed. That's annoying. It's important, and you can see how much I love celebrities these days. I love that I know that their age, and I can understand what they're going through. Just solely on that is quite a big deal, actually. Just stacking years of experience, you can quickly map out their years and what they have been doing. So this guy has been active for 8 years in programming, technically, trying to make tutorial videos, and he managed to break through and make a decent channel, and the channel got annihilated all of a sudden. I don't like this, okay? I really don't. It's not the time for a YouTube channel to just transcend somewhere and disappear. You know, that's 1 million subscribers is time to start a YouTube channel. It's not a time to finish all of a sudden. Especially in a current landscape like this. You gained 1 subscribers. You need to start something, not finish. I don't have ability to chat with someone, but hey, I'll ask if someone wants to theorize, basically, about why Brack has left, and I'll have my own separate space for that. But nobody would come, which makes me really upset. And people would ignore, like, the introduction section. Discord requires great leadership. There's no other way, dude. It requires someone to really know what they're doing, and I think that is the moment of realization. But it's not that at all. For me, game jams were always a terrible experience. And even worse than that, also, like, knowing that Brackies was influenced by the rewind of YouTube as well. We as programmers, we live a little bit behind the clock, behind the trends, but the trends that hit us, they influence us very, very hard. So no wonder rewind was picked up. It's actually a really strong word that everyone is unfortunate to pick up, but also fortunate at the same time. It's just a very influential word that's not going to help you necessarily. It's actually going to break you down. I think what happens every time in the game jam, people fucking figure out how to break you down. And this happened here. However, this case is actually quite different. Brackies captured my attention by doing this. Now, you wouldn't normally think a goodbye message is attention worthy, but just like with Lena, the overly attached girlfriend, I know there is always a mystery behind every goodbye, and it starts an actual conversation, because now you're free to do those conversations in the first place. Very, very much free. You don't have your hands full just yet, because you left your channel. You have a new form of freedom that you have to evaluate and use accordingly. So this is why I immediately write a comment, hey, come join making rant videos, and just whatever, like, you leaving something, you join, because this is a big deal to just do it like that out of the blue. I don't like these things. I would, if I wanted to quit YouTube or whatever, I would release should I quit video. It's quite important for me to just wonder around if it's reasonable, if I'm being reasonable, you know, if it's normal for me to quit. And I will lay down the reasons why I want to quit, you know. But I have to be very incredibly honest with my fans. This is fans we're talking about. These are people that are watching videos regularly, not just subscribed. I was just a subscriber. I was not a fan. But there's always a fan base of some kind existing, hoping that they're connected to something. So you have to be very nice to those people and honest to those people. The moment you're making a major decision about your channel, you can't escape anymore, okay? You feel trapped, you feel like you have to make a big choice, but maybe there's always a better way. This is why I'm so concerned. Maybe there's a better way. You need more time to decide. That's a great deal. Now it's really tough to say. I wonder if what happens when I say why. Why? What does it give me? Why? Why? So here you go. There's nobody questioning yet, except for me. See? Why Brackets is leaving right after Game Jam? I want to know. Advertise the server a lot. Whoa. Yeah. No, it's that is not why, dude. That's not why you join. Here you go. Nobody has this question yet, so that's fine. It's important to mark yourself. It's important to have hashtags. It's important to be searchable in this flow of water flow. It's fucking life is weird, okay? Life is really, really weird. And when you're in the game jam, you're in the maximum kind of explosion of creators coming together. It seems like a good deal, but it's also a nightmare for a lot of people, especially those people who survived Game Jam, who understand, who transcended. Then they get the full picture of what's actually going on. And what's actually going on is pretty scary. I took liberty to try and enter a Game Jam, but I did not succeed at twice. I had some basic issues, okay? I had some basic issues. Very simple. I did not belong to a team both of the times. Both of the times I had to ask for help in the end. And I think that's very bad leadership all of a sudden. If I can get rejected so easily, and people are like, oh, he wants to be like that. That's not true at all. I don't want to be rejected. Nobody wants to be alone and rejected. And I actually sat down, almost in the middle of the entrance, alone, and just nothing was happening. It's when programmers come together, they bring despair with them. And I call despair this idea that you have accumulate really, really tough emotions to deal with. Really tough. You're just a very tough person. And most of the time you're going to be able to introduce yourself as a worker and get into a team and start working together. But that requires leadership. Every single time it requires leadership. So not only Discord, but also game jams require great leadership. Because there are people coming together with despair, hoping that their work will make it all disappear. It almost like rhymes. But programmers, when I came into Game Jam, I don't have the ability to talk myself through, okay, and make relationships and make friends, even though that's the most important thing. Even now, I would struggle to do that, even fucking now. Why is that? But it's a possible thing to do, but it's so difficult, okay? Remember, always remember, friendship is magic and requires special conditions to occur. Okay, you must be able to mask the ugly parts of yourself and present the good parts and combine them together to open yourself up nicely and slowly like a fucking flower and release good fumes. It's like, come, it's okay, I'm friendly, okay? You have to do all these things just to prove you're friendly. It's insane. No programmer can actually do that, okay? They know they can, as every person's supposed to be able to, but friendship is magic. You have to learn an incredible skill for many, many years to be able to do that. I'm not sure if it works. I'll do something special here. So there's an introduce yourself section, and I did that. And when I say brackies, I say add brackies. I don't think I can add him, huh? Can I add him? Brackies. This looks like a brackies boy, right? Like it looks like that, right? Anyways, what is this thumbs up all of a sudden? I'm 15, I live in Egypt, and recently decided I want to become a game developer. I wanted this for a really long time. I had to move and begin since my laptop is crap. I wanted blah 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 for a bit, blah. We're just... yeah. How do you get thumbs up like that all of a sudden? That's interesting. Anyways, yeah, it's a throwback all the way to Antwerp times when I graduated myself. Discord is a big deal. Any social gathering is a big deal, but I never found it to be actually useful. Just like every game jam breaks for me, every gathering does the same. Every gathering of people just kind of completely useless because people don't know how to organize it properly at all. They just don't know it. Being a good leader is an incredible rarity right now. I haven't seen that yet. It is not cool, guys, because without leadership, we're growing a bomb or a wasteland. Some kind of, we combine the spear together and, there's a looming form of despair somewhere. You can mine that as a leader, and people will be like, oh, we can do that and really enlighten ourselves. But you need a leader to start this ultimately hard work that for a leader looks like a piece of cake, honestly, because he's just cool with that. But this is a manager level requirement to be a good leader. So it's tier 3, I'm not tier 3. I'm a tier 4 person in terms of how I'm progressing in life. I can always throw that away and remain tier 2. So you can't just look at me as, this guy can be a leader. And the second part is, I'm not necessarily going to be a leader in my life. Maybe I'm going to be a different kind of manager. Yes, I will require leadership more as a skill, because each time you climb up, you need a variety of skills. And every single time you're going to recognize more and more things like that. And it's kind of fascinating how much work you can do on yourself. How the fuck do you say fascinating? Okay, thank you. How much work you can on yourself completely alone. Which is why not only game jams broke me, but it stopped being relevant at the same time. But the opposite happened to Bracky's, where he says, we will still run game jams, but my channel is not relevant anymore. So I think it's the same kind of trigger, but has been able to shoot a different part of his ability to work. But, obviously, a very obvious idea. Bracky simply... But that's not true, right? If you find... Because he declares that game development as a whole is not important to him anymore. He wants to enjoy life or whatever. Different aspects of life. Yeah. We can make rant videos together if you want. So, that's a quick little introduction to a peek into the programmer's world. It's a good chance for me to talk about game jams and public gatherings, and they are really terrifying, because we're not just talking about programmers. As as these gatherings becoming more and more popular, they will attract even more kind of weird people with weird ideas. But at the same time, people are becoming more and more encouraged to talk about their despair sometimes, okay? Or it's leaking out more and more because, well, we're dealing with the internet. We're dealing with a place without too many consequences, so you can try and jump in and unleash it of how tough your life is, because programmers are also very caring people, and they should connect. It's so easy to actually monetize this thing, but there's always a risk factor, and this risk factor is way harder, because when you monetize like morality, like a very decent, or a good even, a very good trait of a human being, morality, his ability to be a good person to everyone else, be connected, truly be more just, well, yeah, to allow creators to flourish. That's important. I think the scariest thing is when you tear up, you have a responsibility to help more people. That's kind of the responsibility I'm trying to show here. And because I am so traumatized. I can't just dive in immediately. I'm not just traumatized, obviously, or scared. I'm simply young. And being young actually overrides a lot of traits of a human being that would be called negative, but being young actually, is respectable. As long as you don't dive in too deep into something. Don't do it. Don't ever do it. Don't ever specialize yourself, because you're going to be stuck. And this is why I think it's a good thing that Brachis leaves. I joined Brachis Discord because he's leaving YouTube. So it's worth thinking about for sure. I'll leave it there. And we can continue now. Where we left off, we couldn't even finish this part, this section. So the rant's actually evolving. Technically, if I can't finish this, you get the idea. It's gonna get more and more frustrating. Because the mountains are gonna stack on each other, and I can't even climb it fast enough. Without great ideas coming back to life each time. That's the cool part about it. I still appreciate these ideas and they're growing. So, should not stop growing, huh? Well, whatever. Just like Minecraft can be replaced, society is running away from enslavers all the time. So it's like a sun running around. But right now, there are certain platforms that society is coming into naturally because those platforms are so good, and I think Discord is actually being significantly underestimated right now for what it's capable of doing. And I know because I will attempt leadership, and if someone gives me success, I will become a leader. Obviously, I will attempt leadership. Maybe it's in high demand. If it's in high demand, I succeed and I become a leader. There's no question about it. It's easy. It's easy if it's in high demand. And it's quickly rewarding. And it's an escape route for me. Okay, and people will ask, well, how do you create a good Discord server? I will know how to do it. It's gonna be very fucking easy. Now, but the cool part is that it almost requires an entirely separate and special rant of how to do it. But for that, I actually need experience. I would rather have a little bit more experience actually doing it, right? Because I can say how to do it, but if I don't have 10,000 people testing me out, it's kind of worthless, right? I will always change my mind, and very quickly, trying to adapt to the survival mode of like, I have to satisfy 10,000 people and I have to fucking satisfy all of them. I'm not gonna fucking stop until I satisfy a huge group of people. That is impossible, obviously. However, it's possible to play the Hunger Games and see who deserves to be satisfied first. So we weed out and organize, who gets to be active in which kind of period of time, who gets these different channels. We split people into teams, just like with YouTube Map. That's the first thing you start doing. Split into teams. Shrink down the work that you have to do because you want to focus each time. You almost like becoming the sun. As a leader, you become the sun. You will run around the channels and you see what people are doing, but basically you must split them into teams and give them something to work to talk about, to try and break down some kind of mystery, some kind of case, something that's really engaging, right? Or just a quest, a challenge, but you have to figure out what kind of work people are willing to do and how to split them up into teams. That's the first challenge. And this is what I would start. Okay, if I wanted to manage a big Discord, I would split people into teams. And this would actually activate Discord a lot more, because if you feel like you belong somewhere, you're actually going to contribute more. It's very simple. And if there's only a small section where you think you belong, and that section keep on trying to spark new conversations, you're never going to stick around. It's a very slippery slope here. But it's quite simple. It's just not being done, right? Just like a lot of things are quite simple out there, but they're not being done. It's quite unstable for some people, because they still have to climb up to the level of the internet and understanding of that. But hey, I'm fascinated by this. I'm willing to do it if I find a Discord channel that needs employees or whatever. But I am only willing to take the highest self-esteem of employment, which is if you can rival YouTube CEO rank that I currently hold, the chance to win the lottery. And if there's just like 1% chance to win $1 million, that's a chance worth taking, okay? That's like a chance for 4 zeros, right? $10,000. CEO rank is like 1% chance to win $1 million, equivalent of $10,000 without chance. Okay, and most of the time, if you trying to figure out what that 1% is, and if it pays you well, you're actually getting closer and closer to an exact chance, an exact win condition, and an exact outcome, basically. If you're getting better and better at this is why I picked it up so instantly. It looks like a chance, a game of chance, because it might not end up being YouTube CEO, but it's something that I want to play, and I'm gonna be the first one to fucking enter this contest if I have to. I don't care. Okay, I don't care if people think that this is crazy, because it's so self-explanatory for me. It's very, very sensible to enter a contest that may not even have started, but it definitely is. Because nobody likes Susan. We would like better management of YouTube, and I understand that management is kind of tough to do, and I would have done it for Antoine's Discord. I asked. Okay, that's the only time I asked, but hey, I did ask. And I kind of almost asked another time when I jumped into Hightail server, and the differences is like, can I get to that management position where I can really ask them, and how do you do it, right? Building self-esteem is like the hardest thing. And this is like the greatest frustration I have. Esteem. To talk to someone is really difficult. Approaching people is very difficult. I would expect people to understand that, but this is why I was left alone in the game jam. And the only person that really approached me, well, there were two people. There was some random girl that was you know, concerned about an event as a whole. Some kind of a host level person. And there was also a guy who was looking for someone to recruit for a job. But I kind of deflected these people because I didn't know how to even talk with them. And they were also kind of irrelevant to me as well. But there were chances for me to make friends. You know, now I understand that before a game jam even starts, it might be a good chance to start making friends. This is where the self-esteem kind of actually bubbles up a little bit. Because people get very uncomfortable with it. There's an event, there's a gathering, and people are just waiting. It's a very uncomfortable feeling, so it's a useful thing to take advantage of. So it's really difficult. This is why team building is so important. If you really find your own little space to occupy, you get your own responsibilities. This is what gives you self-esteem. Otherwise, you don't have self-esteem at all. Because you don't have expectations from other people. You don't have their attention anymore. You're just there sitting doing something. That's not good enough. You want to have that expectation from people so they can approach you. You want them to know what you came here for. That's why team building is so... You can't just because there's a lot of programmers out there. When the game jam occurs, there's still too many people. You have to be split into groups. And it didn't work out as well as intended. Anyways, I mean, I'm being salty about it, but now I have grown so far into this despair, I'm turning it into my own little resource, my own little resort. I know that most people can't fucking deal with this. So I'm like, I feel better than them. That's it. I just feel better. I feel like I'm going the right way, but I will always have to try and attempt and test whether there is an out, a solution that still suits me, but, you know, it kind of rejected me at first sight. I always have to test these things because I'm improving as a person, so at any point I can go back and revisit things just like I'm doing right now. But now I have some things to revisit thanks to this format being perfect. I don't have to rewatch my videos to know whether they're good or not. I just need to understand whether my statements are good. And that's it. And I'm making tons and tons of statements, but I don't have to go into Twitter and be a president to make statements anymore. Okay, that's a good deal. That's a good deal if I say so myself. I heard Donald Trump saying, "De-Trump, if you kill a policeman, I want a death penalty for you." Well, if you kill a human being, I would want to, obviously, based on how good the human being is, but of course, government has like this highest self-esteem where if you kill a government person, all of a sudden, death penalty is upon you. But you also need to understand that you can't really just put a shield, the ultimate shield upon every policeman ever. And it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird deal. Death penalty. Well, as long as that death penalty is just imprisonment, you're not gonna be killed as well. Like, what the fuck? But who knows? This is a very controversial statement to make. Sona has been in the office way too long to be able to make statements like this. That's what I think. Because death occurs in so many ways, right? What if someone gets poisoned? How do you decide that? who gets the death penalty. You can't do that. You have to spread the death penalty around. So you must understand, what is this thing all of a sudden? It's a lot of work all of a sudden. If you kill a policeman, it's a high level imprisonment for you. It's a high level of re-education waiting to be happen. And yeah, a lot of policemen, you actually become a celebrity almost if you kill a policeman. You have to have your own little space, because policemen might want to actually visit you and think of what you have done. You're almost like a mockery object, a very special kind of person in the zoo of imprisonment. Someone who broke government because he didn't understand what government stands for. But that's a normal thing. Honestly, being upset at police is a normal thing. This is more of a statement towards people who have tried to take over a police station, I believe, and really insulted Donald Trump's self-esteem. I'm sure about that. So this is not a statement that can apply to every country ever. It's a very specific situation, and I must say, okay, don't be blinded by these statements, by any statements. It does belong to a very specific situation at all times. And yes, it does killing a policeman should be a hard and tough thing to do, by the way. So it can't just give a death penalty, like instant death. You have to imprison a person and ask them questions over and over again. It's just a tireless adventure of like, how did this happen? How do we let this happen? That's impossible. Well, it's a good deal, by the way. If you want to imprison yourself in that situation, all of a sudden this would be an actually positive statement for some criminals. Some people just don't have a life, and they can get a life just doing that. Just kill a policeman. But all of a sudden, this is a very fascinating challenge for the government. If it works the way I said it should, it's a decent challenge for government. I would love that. Okay. If people now can decide, okay, I can go into prison for the rest of my life and basically learn how to live in the lowest level of society, where crime is kind of like a language and not necessarily a thing that can occur from nowhere. It's happening all the time. It's just the language of life in prison. Crime and trying to survive to a certain degree, but I think prison has a very peculiar way of life, and I think some people would be fascinated to just go and kill a policeman to get a full fucking sentence and incredible media attention. So here you go. You know, whatever Donald Trump says can backfire immediately. But if the death penalty is instant, and you're not being asked questions, obviously that's not judgment at all anymore. You are a bad person all of a sudden. Literally, anyone who creates a death penalty that is being given instantly is gonna be in a hunt. Okay, so someone has to kill them instantly as well. No question. Just don't question about that. We just do the same thing that he said. Don't question that. But that's a really scary thing, I think. But it's still worth noting. If you want a person dead for any reason, someone else wants you dead as well. Don't wish death upon someone is just not a good thing, okay? It's an absolute terrible curse. I would even say curse, but I missed the opportunity. Let's go up. So we ranked up at C, 220. Yeah, it all depends on whether prison sentence is like worse or better than death. So it's a terrifying thing to juggle, man. I don't want to get my hands dirty. Being a president. Fuck that shit. Or even looking at Donald Trump. I think, yeah, it's a sun theory, boys. If you look at Donald Trump for too long, you're gonna get your eyes burn out. That's just what happens. Alright, what else do we have? Wait, yeah, wait. I do that. PCs suck too, but a little less. I'm not gonna lie. Suck a little less. The biggest problem right now is monitors burning my eyes out, and it's at lowest brightness. I think I actually need a brightness setting. If there is a brightness setting. Like in video control. I don't know what to do here. So I'll try whatever. Yeah, okay, this really helps. It's really gonna help me. I hope it doesn't change anything for you guys. Yeah, this really helps. It does change the color palette a little bit. Makes certain things more brighter than the others. Who knows? Oh yeah, the contrast also needs to be toned down with the brightness. Alright, here you go. I think I'll take this. Whew. Okay. It's a little bit dark, but it seems a little bit better. What else do we have? So there's some requirements for a good person, for a good talented person to become a creator. You recognize at some point there's some basic core values, and you grab onto those and you get better at it. So I say being efficient, productive. What else? I mapped it out afterwards, so it's not a big deal. Overpopulation makes untalented people, obviously, and it's actually quite a bit of a struggle. Okay, it is a huge struggle of many, many tears to come, basically. It's filled with tears. Think about it. Tear, it can also be an antonym to separation, but it also can be just as painful to separate yourself from someone as it is for them to like transcend and be separate from you, and it makes you tear up, makes you emotional. That you can't really get to that level, but you understand what a person is going through. That is you did full round of work. You're well-rounded person that way. If you know how to cry, to truly cry. This is why a lot of fire people are actually crybabies at the same time. Yeah, Jake Paul would be a crybaby. Justin Bieber would be a crybaby. He even started as a crybaby in the first place, actually. And people actually noticed, like Niga Higa, that he's singing as a crybaby. So here you go. This is a narcissist trait to tear up, but that's simply because they understand reality through experience, and they figure out that the only thing they can hold on to is actually tearing up. It's actually feeling emotional for other people when they really struggle in life, but sometimes you can't help them anymore because you're stupid. You're just emotional. You're very experienced in life. You understand when something snaps and it's impossible to bring it back anymore. Bring it back. Fireworks. Very frustrating, by the way. Every time I hear fireworks. Because every time I hear anything, it's almost like a message to me as well. As to many, many other people, somehow. Yeah, these are all 4 skills. Being able to be smart, helpful, productive, and efficient. That's cool. Got Swords of Revealing Light. So, I'm a little bit more active now. It's a good deal, but at the same time I have to be very conservative of energy. Because I know the moment I waste my entirety of $50 for survival, in this case it's 50 euros, but it does make a difference, okay? Because I live in a faraway place where nobody cares. So I get this played against me for a lot of days. I'm just going to be alone. And I don't know, it's just such a weird situation. I started I print out a few rune cards. I thought those were a cool concept. I need people to talk to me. So this is what I started with. I immediately throw this as a cake. Oh, but it's just not gonna happen. Because I need many, many people to flood from many places, but I don't know how to introduce myself properly. Yeah, that's another concern. Spawn is a big deal. I'm a creator. You know, if in the end death is what I desire truly, I'll create it. I'll be better at it in this case. Now, whatever you achieve, whatever tier you achieve, you can at least make yourself a better death. If you become like a manager level, imagine managing death. It's almost like a play date with death itself. You're no longer creating your own little tiny death that might not even be able to do as much. But that's the scariest thing, you know. Every time you graduate, you also have to shake hands with death. You're maximized on insanity of many, many things like that. So creating death is actually gonna be a graduation process for the next year, and I don't like it. Because holy shit, that was already crazy. Please no. But I am getting better as a person. So what can possibly life throw at me? Well, life has everything that they can throw at me. Literally crafted everything ever. It still looks like a surface material. It still looks like something easy to pick up, but it's always gonna be good enough to throw you off. If you get friend zone, You should like it, basically. It's fine. It's way harder to be friends anyways than in a relationship, because to be a friend you want to kind of secure a consistent position there, even though it will feel very awkward, obviously. Yeah, I do have to take a break when I make these 3-hour videos. It's a natural occurrence. This is how I say trap, by the way. To rat a rat, baby. To rat someone is a trap. Every service person is ready to suck a dick for cash. So technically, police does not necessarily deserve our respect. But we have to respect their power level, obviously. Because government is obsessed with power and will ensure that every person working for the government has maximum power level, but very low level of influence, honestly, and maybe almost negative, where they have to pay you to live in a society, you know. And essentially government workers must understand that most of them are working in a very unstable job, where they're almost being asked to do crime if they want to earn money. That's how I look at policemen, first and foremost. But you can look at any person like that. A medical expert, they're almost being paid to do a bad job, not a good job. So a person comes back, or a person requests medicine or requires it. That's a bad job. What the fuck? You're not supposed to need medicine if you're a healthy human being. So, get your medicine from the medical department. But once you're out in the real world, you're not supposed to rely on it. So, I think it's a very, very tough situation here. Government maximizes or regulates the power for whoever works for the government. Okay, so with the teachers, the medical, the scientists, and the police, the law enforcement, or whatever, those people are getting incredible levels of power. But here's the thing, right? I said this, but these people need to stop addicting us to bullshit. Okay? I said that I'm concerned about addictions being thrown out. And again, I just said about the medical people addicting. Almost like police could actually encourage crime because there's so many policemen. I think that's a very good point to make. As a supplement. Is there a plus sign? I wish there were a fucking plus sign, dude. You bastards, man. You're really bad people if there is no plus sign. I'll just do asterisk, but you know what that means. Maybe I just use arrow up. But instead I use arrow down. So, police actually if police is too big, they will encourage crime. instead of fighting it. Because that's their job, right? And they have incredible level of power to force things to happen. So they will encourage crime. Regulating the size of something, the true needs of something, is the real challenge for any leader. So is military really needed right now? Or is Donald Trump just being a dighead? Of course he's being a dighead. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. I now kind of appreciate people who wanted to vote for Hillary, by the way. Kind of appreciate... I understand what you're going through, yeah. I see it now. So we're here somewhere. The video is about to be over. Blue here, guys. Blue hedgehog. I wouldn't call her Rebecca Blue. I would call her Sonic. Okay, that's it. This is where you cross the line, man. This is where you become Sonic. Blue hair makes you Sonic. Supersonic. That's fucky fuck, man. What is hiding behind C-series? Blah blah blah. It's quite important for you to know how I react to the work that I did. But that's just me, okay? That's just me. I like squares. How do you like a tiled square? Super lonely, super poor, super jailed, and super schmutz. I say super dirty. Why not just dirty? I got tired of this schmutz thing. Memes can't hold on forever. Sounds like the schmutz was so schmutzy, it turned into just dirt. Okay, whatever. Tax deduction cut and give me my table. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I get a free. No, I don't get a free one. Dirty. Hi. There you go. It literally said the same thing, but in 2 words. Grow up means running away from your parent and doing taxes. Who wants to grow up, boys? I like to eat my parents. Tape one eye shut, so yeah, okay, watch Mr. Bean. For every distraction, you need a prep solution. Then we have some boring... this is just trying to minimize things, right? I mean, you don't need an entire kitchen. Look how many things you need. Yeah, you do need a sink, essentially. But even that is not always needed. You make a mess, you clean it. You can make a mess like 2 times in a row. So you do want to be a little bit more efficient than you let yourself believe. But saving money is not the way to do it. It's just living an efficient life is gonna allow you to focus and make things faster in your life. That's the real concern. Saving money is lesser concern than speeding up your life. Obviously. Some people don't care about saving money. Some people even laugh at these people, but the real idea is you just speed up your life to enjoy it more. It's kind of simple. Saving money kind of slows you down sometimes. It's just a bad thing to focus on. We were at D rank, so we can actually descend quite fast. I can actually now pin this message because we see it. While you wanting to buy something more. Yeah, anticipation is actually quite fascinating. And you want to put yourself into anticipation as often as possible. To just get that feeling for as long as you can. Anticipate. I can't underestimate anticipation, to be honest. Get out of here. Never underestimate anticipation. The one weird thing about anticipation, it comes both ways. So most people actually delay projects and delay making moves. They're kind of just anticipating something. And you must allow people to, like, you must be patient for this reason. Basically, a reason to be patient. If you need a simple reason, that's it. Anticipation is just super cool. Alright, my mom is still gone. I'd still believe I'll struggle, obviously, and I will reach the bottom, and I will have to ask my friend to take us both home. And hopefully that works out. But it's literally, a very sketchy thing. I don't like asking for things, but I don't like being rejected either. And I don't like being in trouble, so I'll have to do it. And it's not that difficult for me to pay for it. Blah. So, yeah, this is the main theme. Have I learned something new? So, have I learned something new about overpopulation? A little bit. As you can tell, there was something upsetting about it, by any means. Because I found that separation is actually happening too. Separation of people. I'm now separating myself just like everyone else. I think it's a normal thing to do. Because you have to learn how to, appreciate separation. It's such a worldwide resource all of a sudden. You have to learn how to, first of all, defend yourself when in the moment of, when criminals figure out separation. That's a tough situation. Because they know you're vulnerable all of a sudden. It's a very, very tough situation. I don't know. I don't even want to think about overpopulation as a problem, because it's almost not a problem. It's almost like this Thanos snap sequence of things is going to be required to weed out people who are propagating bad habits. We're learning bad habits watching untalented individuals. I say individuals, not people, because it's important to understand they have the choice to be talented, but they're not talented, or they're nobodies at all. And we are kind of spectating them, but they know, even though they're under pressure, they're doing something, they're trying to get rid of that pressure, and it's a little bit tough situation, I think. It's a really complicated situation for a lot of people. We're not being left alone because we have overpopulation. You have to be kind of surrounded by people at all times and know how to deal with it and know how to not treat them as friends, you know, because friendship is magic. So you're definitely not treating them as friends. You're just treating them as also individuals. You're an individual. I can treat you as such. You come into my Discord. It's not like we're friends, you know, but you are a person that exists as an individual. Here, you show your interest. That's cool. Maybe we're gonna find interest in each other, not just you into something that you found, okay, from the past. So my candy's not food, obviously. For me, like, candy's a fascinating phenomenon when you're really poor. It's definitely not worth buying anymore. But you kind of want it at some points. I think the best candy eventually becomes tea. You can just buy sugar. It's not a big deal. Just drink tea. Done something, you can make it better, you can reuse it. It's so frustrating. So when I did the graduation thing in the end of 2018, there's another feeling that I did. And this ties into overpopulation. People use overpopulation to fuel ignorance. And basically when I walk the streets of UK, and of the place that there's like a circle that you can make. Basically circle around the block. And there's a few... It's interesting, I would say. It's just interesting to circle a block. Almost like a very tough situation at the same time. But people are so ignorant. You can say anything, you can do anything, they don't care. Jack shit. They're not gonna turn you into a friend. They're not gonna bump into you. It's never gonna happen. So you can circle your surrounding area as much as you want. You can even bump into drunk people. Nothing happens. Believe me. I tried. I tried it. It's very disappointing. Maybe you can jump into a group of people, a group of teens. I heard that. Whistle blow, you know. That's not a good deal. I don't think that's a good deal. If someone wants you, and they don't just run up to you, alone at least. Obviously, if they try and grab you, like that's it. You have to fight back. But if they're just trying to talk to you, you're allowed to run up to a person. But see, that's the problem. If people are not talented, we don't know how to communicate anymore. We just don't know how to make friends. We just don't know how to securely bump into someone. The moment we have enough influence to do it, because if we had made friends accidentally, if we have been the circle of gravity for friendship to pour in, but not necessarily be your friend. It's just you have the capacity to give friends to someone. It's a very weird capacity, but I think some people can do it. A group of individuals. Yeah. Or be a group of individuals is called a friend-seeking missile. This is why it's kind of difficult, because like sometimes it's a missile that's trying to explode right into your face and like rip you off, take advantage of you, turn you into an individual, turn you dependent on this group, basically. but sometimes an individual is going to detach and understand that he's just individual. He's just a group of individuals. It's not bound by anything. Just hanging around, just wasting time. But you're hoping that you're gonna share stories. You're gonna, kind of connect it all together to make it more worthwhile, even though you're kind of wasting time. I've been able to become a completely separate individual. That's cool, but it makes me really anxious that people are not speaking out. They're not creating situations where friendship can occur in the first place. We're just individually going through life, and I'm very upset about that. Here you go. This is a lot of work. This is a lot of work, as you can tell. Just observing things. But we made it. We broke one mountain, so there's an expectation for every video to do just that. Break one mountain. Move just a little bit forward. Okay, done something. Do it better. All random. Some points just, speak for themselves. It's very agreeable. No problem. All random chance influence outers are over-investing. Why do you need dating? Is it sex? Do you want dating and cuddles, maybe, instead? Or you just want to... I mean, it's a weird deal. I'm not gonna lie. And this is where the pickup kind of gets it's fuel for an entire rant. Okay, yeah, I'll just read it. It's almost like a book, anyways. As we'll get an exclusive app, it will pay you. Yeah, but when I read, it's just so hard to make a point, though. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just have to just read through it and hopefully it triggers me. Because obviously I don't care about ads that much. It's quite obvious. No, none of us care about ads, but I actually do care. I do want to care a bit more. I do want to care about this in general a little bit more. I know TikTok is a good place to find cool individuals or cool looking girls. Just that. Just that, sadly. Tinder is not about cool looking girls. It's actually just conversations. Cool conversations. You can find cool conversations. Don't expect a good looking girl actually to give you a conversation, or a good looking girl to actually upload an entire profile or an Instagram profile to have that. And even when you have her Instagram, it feels like half-assed because they're not celebrities, they're not important, they don't show up on the internet as much. So you can't just skim their internet kind of existence and understand better about them. It doesn't work that way anymore. The best thing you can do from Tinder is conversation. I think it's worth noting. I think it's worth taking all of these. What is the best thing you can get? Whew. So we finished a mountain, but we can't get a good rank all of a sudden. Actually have to do a better job. That's very nice. I am very intrigued that the rant videos are not over. My work is not over yet. And I still can improve as a human being. Of course I'm gonna do that. Let's go. Good looking conversations. Apps are very interesting. They're very interesting, okay? I think it's inspiration. Inspiration is what you get. I'm gonna talk about ads separately, I guess. Because I think it's actually quite a bit more interesting than you think. Adds his ability to join a community. I think I can still do it. No. So I'm not sure. I'm very confused about this point of ads. What is the purpose of ads? What can you get good? Because most of the time ads are trying to backstab you. Unless they're providing you an entrance to a community. But even that's a little bit sketchy. Like, how do you do it? How do you manage ads? It's a very tough one. I found these 3 things to be useful so far, and here you have something not really working very well. Ads are trying to get your attention, but they're not going to hold your hand. They're just going to try and take your money away. First and foremost, but eventually ads are supposed to evolve a little bit. But like, what is the best thing? Now, I found Albion. So, if Albion works out, I will tell you what I think about ads. Basically, Albion is looking similar to RuneScape, and you can sell gold almost like more securely than with RuneScape. It's like not discouraged yet, so I'll take it. Basically, G2A handles transactions, and that looks like a good deal to me when it's handled by like a marketplace and not separate gold sellers or whatever. I think that's a lot higher potential. I believe Guild Wars does the same thing. They also have marketplaces for that. They're not official marketplaces, but it's good enough for me to actually trust that the prices are going to be more competitive, but also more free. So when it comes to competition, it means that if you lower your price just enough, you're going to get enough customers. And if you and you will get always a good deal, basically. Always going to get a good deal. So I really want to look into that. It sounds fascinating. After all, I have a little bit of experience now. And you actually need experience for this stuff. It really helps. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't hire a friend without experience. You know, how do you hire a person? There you go. The real reason you're not hired, you're not a friend yet of anyone. Actually, I think making friends of a workplace, or just asking like, oh, I'll do things for free for you. I will do it for free. That's a very, very good deal sometimes. A much better deal, because taking people's attention and working for free for them, that is a much better deal, especially if you're lonely. Okay? This is what I encourage people to do. It's what helped me a little bit. To find like bump into a cool person. And do a cool project for them as well. I could have accidentally done it, It could have accidentally worked. But it didn't, because I thought I could still, in the back of my head, I thought I could like improve the game engine, the way they are made. And they really introduced a very cool challenge to me as well, and I will never forget. So honestly, I'll put a heart in there. I will never forget when I volunteered to do something for free. I was lonely, and it's scary, you know. It's better to make friends when you're lonely and scared and you don't know what to do. Don't just jump into a service and give people what they may want or not, just to rip off their money. Like, the best thing to do is make friends. They will give you something in the end, even if it's not money straightforward. So yeah, it's again like this weird, the weird experiences that I get with girls is so annoying. Believe me, it's very annoying. And that's the first thing you want to approach people with. It's like, friendship is just so much more valuable than just doing a service for someone. But you have to like tune how the capacity, just so weird as well. You can almost make infinite amount of friends because it's the greatest resource of all time, especially in the time of overpopulation. I think I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Friendship is an incredible resource. Never stop accumulating that. And in a proper way as well. Keep improving the way that you accumulate it. And never really stop, because it's just that valuable. If something is ridiculously valuable, you don't really want to stop collecting it. And sometimes, you know, friends try to slip away, but it's really hard to actually unknow a person all of a sudden. First impressions are good for one thing. It's a quick attachment to something, a quick knowledge, an overall knowledge. So I leave you guys with that. It is really difficult to climb a mountain that has already been set up, filled with traps. Just really awkward, actually. And I know I started off like really angry as a zombie wishing to take revenge over my mom again. What is a documentary? Can I beat it? Did I beat it? Well, no. But I don't think it matters. I think it's still worth thinking about. I want to find... But yeah. She will not get out of my headspace anymore, I don't think. Nikki just got it. Just figure out what is she unique about. Making a podcast is not necessarily a unique thing, but you have to do it in a unique way. I don't know, it's probably better to go through podcasts than documentaries, but documentaries are so fucking cool. I want documentaries. I want documentary level podcasts, you know? What is documentary versus podcast? Okay, maybe there's in the middle, there's me sitting making rant videos. Maybe I'm in a really, really well set up place. What if I found a perfect mix of rant and no, of podcast and documentary? So there's a special like array or a spectrum of what's considered a podcast, where it's considered just a simple sit down and talk about things. But documentary usually raises some kind of conflict, some kind of point that has to be addressed, right? So I think I am following in that middle section almost like an audiobook, but it's different. For me, it's just a rant. Rantcast. I want it to be its own thing. I want things to show up as new trends, but it's gonna be a hard fight to win. The infinite war of making a difference in the world. That's a big deal, man. And finding people to relate. The infinite war of trying to relate and make a difference. Alright guys, see you later.